All right, YouTube, it's week 9 in the National Football League. I got to make some picks. The first game is Thursday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs at San Diego take on the Chargers. Kansas City is horrible. One of the worst teams in football right now. So I got to go with the San Diego Chargers. Even though the Chargers lost that shootout in Cleveland in a electrifying game, the Browns edged the Chargers by 1 point. Come on, that was horrible. Horrible. So I got the Chargers. They will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's in San Diego. It'll be a close game, probably like 11-10, something like that. Go with the Chargers. Baltimore, Cleveland. Baltimore's banged up, beat up. Ray Lewis isn't playing. Webb isn't playing. So the Ravens aren't as good as they were earlier in the season. The Browns got to win against San Diego. And I'm picking Baltimore. I can't pick Cleveland. So take the Ravens in that game. The Ravens are coming off of a bye week, even though they played horrible against the Houston Texans. Like I said they would, they will still beat the Cleveland Browns. Arizona at Green Bay, going with the Packers. I have no faith in Arizona getting a win. Arizona was all right start the season. Now we're starting to see who the Arizona Cardinals really are. Chicago at Tennessee. Going with Chicago. I picked the Titans last week against the Colts. They let me down. Should have won that game. And Chicago is one of the best teams in the NFC as of right now, so I got to take the Chicago Bears. Miami at Indianapolis. A lot of Dolphins fans. A lot of negativity on my channel from Dolphins fans. Mad because if you pick against the Dolphins, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna give you negative stuff on your channel. I can tell you that. If you make picks and you have a channel, you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But, I mean, it's hard to pick the Dolphins. They were horrible last year. They have a rookie quarterback this year. They have been playing pretty decent, but their schedule's been really easy. So, I still don't believe the Dolphins are a good football team. I will give the Dolphins this one. I think they will beat the Colts in Indianapolis. Close game. Ryan Tannehill's a pretty good quarterback. Very impressed with what I've seen from him. But I still don't think the Dolphins are a good football team. Their schedule's horrible. But I will go the Dolphins against the Colts. You got Carolina at Washington. Scam Newton versus Bob Griffin. I'm going to go with Bob Griffin and say that the Redskins will win this game because they're at home. Very close game here, but I'll go with Bob Griffin and the Washington Redskins. Detroit at Jacksonville. Total disaster here. Blowout game. Doesn't really matter. Detroit will get the win. Jacksonville's horrible. Houston at home against the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills will play better football because they're coming off that bye week. I picked the Bills to be a sleeper team at the beginning of the season. Maybe they still are. I don't know. They're not going to win against the Houston Texans. There's no way. I picked Houston to win. It won't be a total blowout. A couple touchdowns. I don't know. 35-21 will be the final score. Houston will get the win. Tampa Bay at Oakland. I've picked the Raiders a little bit here and there, but I've always had a little. So Carson Palmer, it's hard for me to trust this guy when the game's on the line. This is a game where it'll be a close game. Tampa Bay at Oakland. It's going to be a close game, and I'm afraid that it's going to come down to Carson Palmer, and I don't like it when it comes down to Carson Palmer. I got to go with Tampa Bay in a close game. But I've seen too many interceptions thrown by Carson Palmer when the game's on the line. Sorry. I just can't pick the Oakland Raiders this week. Minnesota at Seattle. Minnesota let me down last week. I picked them to beat Tampa Bay. Should have won that game. And they lost. Now they go into Seattle and take on the Seattle Seahawks when the Seahawks are at home. I can't pick Minnesota over Seattle, man. I can't do it. I just can't. Seattle's got the 12th man up there. They'll get the win over the Minnesota Vikings. And the Pittsburgh Steelers against the New York Giants. I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I really hate the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't even think they're a good football team. They did beat the Bengals. They won't do it again this year. the Bengals will get them in Pittsburgh. I guarantee it. I think the Browns will even beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Baltimore will beat Pittsburgh both times that they play them. So I'm going with the Giants over the Pittsburgh Steelers by a few touchdowns. Dallas at Atlanta. Cowboys, they play pretty good football, but still can't seem to get a win. I can't pick them against the Atlanta Falcons. This game's in Atlanta. I've been hearing some things about Tony Romo era coming to an end. Tony Romo should be a better quarterback than what he is. He should be better than what he is. I mean, he does good, and then he does bad, and then he does good. And so he's up and he's down. I got to go with the Atlanta Falcons here. What I saw from Tony Romo against the New York Giants last week, I could have swore I saw, I saw one of the wide receivers flip off the other wide receiver for the Cowboys. I could have swore I saw that happen during that game. They didn't talk about it. I thought that's what I saw. Maybe I'm wrong. It looked to me like, I forget if it was Des Bryant or one of those guys was being, they were yelling at each other or something, and the guy walked away and he turned around and gave the finger to the other guy when he wasn't looking. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. I saw Tony Romo kind of getting into the face of one of the receivers when, I think that it's probably time for Dallas to start looking at another quarterback. I'm going the Atlanta Falcons. Philadelphia at New Orleans. Michael Vick will start. I don't know if they're telling Vic, this is it. You got to do this. You got to. I think the Eagles will get the win. I think that the Eagles overall are a better football team than the Saints. I think the Eagles are better than their record has shown. So I think that they will go to New Orleans. They will beat the Saints. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think Michael Vick will have a good game. And I just don't see how the New Orleans Saints can actually stop anybody's offense. So I got to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the game that you guys have all been waiting for, Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. Who Dey Nation, it's time to finally enjoy a Sunday. That's right, baby. I'm picking the Bengals. The Bengals over Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Our quest to the Super Bowl starts now, folks. Bye week. Dre Kirkpatrick's back and says he's ready for Peyton Manning. He's ready! That's right. We're going to see a lot of sacks this week, a lot of pressure on Peyton Manning. I guarantee it. Bengals will get the win, folks. The Who Dey Nation will rise. I'm telling you. The Bengals are going to be good this week. You watch and see. You're going to see some good football this week played by the Cincinnati Bengals. I guarantee it. Who Dey? Go Bengals. Those are my picks, baby. Go Bengals.